This is a fourth stimulus check, stimulus program, and news update. Let's get right into it. So the richest 25 Americans reportedly paid a true tax rate of only 3.4% as wealth has rocketed. So according to ProPublica, who came out with this report, it said that those 25 people saw their wealth rise a collective $401 billion from 2014 to 2018. They paid a total of $13.6 billion in federal income taxes in those 5 years. The IRS data shows that's a staggering sum, but it amounts to a true tax rate of only 3.4%. By contrast, the median American household paid 14% in federal taxes. So if you were to think about a family making $30,000 to $50,000 a year, they're paying 14% in taxes. Meanwhile, billionaires are paying only 3.4%. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Should the rich pay more in taxes? Should they be able to keep their money because they worked hard for it? Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Next up is Bernie Sanders talking more about taxing the rich.
I'm also very eager to hear your response to this new bombshell report from ProPublica that details how some of America's super wealthiest people avoid paying much in federal income taxes. They do this legally, while most Americans are obviously pay between 20 and 30% of their incomes. This is, of course, because of loopholes in the tax code and because the U.S. government focuses on taxing labor income and not wealth. What did you think when you read this report?
Well, I think, as you can guess, Jake, I was not shocked. We have a regressive and unfair tax system. We have a corrupt political system in which the wealthy are able to make huge campaign contributions and have all kinds of lobbyists here on Capitol Hill. And then if you're rich, unlike an ordinary working person, you have dozens of lawyers and accountants helping you take advantage of every loophole that is out there. So bottom line is, why should we be surprised that in a corrupt system, the very, very richest people, multi-billionaires, pay in a given year zero in federal income tax? And it's not just individuals. We have major corporations that make billions in profits. They pay nothing in federal income taxes. Clearly, one of the things that we have to do, and President Biden has some ideas on this. I would go further, but he has ideas that does say that the wealthy and large corporations are going to have to start paying their fair share of taxes.
It looks like Democrats and Republicans can actually work together on certain issues and pass some things in Congress. So Senate passes a $250 billion bipartisan tech and manufacturing bill aimed at countering China. So this is going towards research and development for semiconductors so that China doesn't have a monopoly on that, as well as some other things so we could start manufacturing in America and don't have to rely on China and other countries. And it looks like Democrats and Republicans actually agreed on something. When it comes to infrastructure, not so much. So with Biden's infrastructure negotiations with Republicans collapsed, what happens now? So there are two plans. We have one plan with the Senate. We have the G20, which is going to be 10 Senate Republicans, 10 Senate Democrats. They're supposedly working on something, having an issue on how to pay for the infrastructure with that plan. We also have the House moderates unveil a $1.25 trillion infrastructure plan. This is from the Problem Solvers Caucus, consisted of 58 House Democrats, or actually 29 House Democrats, 29 House Republicans, which equals 58 members of that group. And they're trying to work on that as well. The biggest issue, it doesn't matter who is going to work on this infrastructure package, is how it's going to be paid. A red line for Republicans is they don't want to have tax hikes. Democrats want to have tax hikes. So there's the issue. It doesn't matter how much it is. It's about how it's going to be paid for. Now, President Biden talks reconciliation with Schumer as infrastructure negotiations falter. So right when the negotiations ended with Senator Shelley Moore Capito, President Biden gave Chuck Schumer, Senate Majority Leader, a call and said, hey, what's going to happen with reconciliation? So according to Jen Psaki, in a statement, Biden spoke with Schumer to discuss the need to commence work on the budget resolution process so that legislation to advance the president's economic priorities and tax reform plans could move to the Senate floor in July. So basically, what's going to happen? Are we going to move forward with reconciliation? Had that initial conversation. And then there's also 90 groups who are urging Biden to pass infrastructure through reconciliation. These are different advocacy groups. They're basically saying, but they're Democrat, they're saying Republicans' unreasonable demands have left the White House and Democratic leadership with no choice but to move forward without them. This is according to an open letter that was written, and they're basically saying let's just move on without the Republicans, and so the Democrats could pass it through reconciliation. There's a lot of pressure for reconciliation right now. Also, Representative Pramila Jayapal and Kristen Gillibrand tells Dems to give up bipartisan talks on infrastructure and just move forward with reconciliation. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Should the infrastructure package move forward with reconciliation so it could just get it out of the way, or should there be some type of bipartisan solution? Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. So, Representative Pramila Jayapal, name sounds familiar. She is actually one of the people who is leading the charge for the $2,000 per month stimulus checks, fourth stimulus checks. So this is the Automatic Boost to Communities Act, which is the ABC Act. Now, there's different numbers in different places. Here it says immediately provides $2,000 payment to every person in America as critical relief during the COVID-19 crisis, followed by $1,000 recurring monthly payments. So in certain news spots, it'll say $2,000 per month, or actually just $2,000 one-time payment, and then $1,000 per month after that. But according to the actual bill, I'm not sure if people actually read the actual bills with these. I like to see exactly where the information is coming from. But this is the bill right here, and if I go to page 5, it says $2,000 per month to each eligible individual thereafter during the pandemic period, and then, or during the payment period, which is the pandemic when it's announced officially over, then $1,000 per month to each eligible individual a year after that payment period. So that's one of the more popular plans in terms of a fourth stimulus check, and there's definitely a need for a stimulus check. So food prices at grocery stores rise for 12th consecutive month due to lack of supplies and workers. So the prices have gone up, as I'm sure you've seen at all grocery stores. It says at this one grocery store, it says all our meat has gone up maybe 20%, I would say easily. Chicken has gone up, I would say the same. And then it's saying that the prices are about 40% more expensive compared to last year. So prices of food are going up. How are people going to pay for food if they're struggling so much, which is showing the more need for a fourth stimulus check? But is it going to happen? So when it comes to a fourth stimulus check, Biden's focused on the American Families Plan, but doesn't rule out more payments. So when asked with the White House, they didn't say that they were for a fourth stimulus check or against a fourth stimulus check. Their focus is mainly on the infrastructure and American Families Plan, or actually just infrastructure first and then American Families Plan after that. So I'll keep you updated if anything happens new with the fourth stimulus check. Subscribe if you want the latest on fourth stimulus check and other stimulus programs. Also, when it comes to a fourth stimulus check, not necessarily a fourth stimulus check, but the IRS is sending out extra payments by mistake. Here's what to do if you've got one. So I've seen some people in the comments say, hey, I've gotten an extra stimulus check. Seems like people on Social Security, for whatever reason, got extra stimulus checks, like a duplicate. So they got the third $1,400 stimulus check, then they got another $1,400 stimulus check. If you get an extra stimulus check, don't cash it in, don't spend it, because the IRS will eventually get it. Just send it back to the IRS. This way there's no problems later on. Now, in regards to the third stimulus check, again, the IRS just made another announcement saying that more than 2.3 million additional economic impact payments were dispersed under the American Rescue Plan. Total payments top 169 million. Just when you thought almost everybody has gotten it, they're delivering another 2 million every single week. So the way this one broke down, it was 900,000 payments were for people who the IRS didn't have their information before, and then another 1.1 million plus up payment. And it still says the IRS will continue to make economic impact payments on a weekly basis. These were sent out via direct deposit as well as paper checks. So if you didn't receive your third stimulus check yet, it looks like checks are still going out. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Manuel Harper. Hey, Mr. Dave, I have a question for you. Thank you again for uplifting the community. Good job. My question is, how many times can they do the reconciliation? Great question. So they can only do it one more time until the end of the fiscal year, which is until the end of September. So October 1st is a new fiscal year. They could use new reconciliation there. So most likely they're going to use their reconciliation before October 1st. Next question, Deborah Moody. This vaccination shouldn't be forced on anyone. So in yesterday's video, I talked about how certain workplaces are forcing vaccinations. Deborah Moody saying that it shouldn't be forced, and a lot of you were saying that it should be freedom of choice. Also, be aware of these scammers. This one now says pinned by Wiseflies. This isn't me. I would never ask for you to call me, WhatsApp, or invest, or do whatever. If you ever see these, just report it as spam. My comments have a check mark next to it. So just be aware of that. Don't give anybody your information from the comments. This is not me. Danny Price asks, I have not heard you talk about student loan forgiveness. Do you think that Biden will do it still? So as I mentioned, the main focus is on the infrastructure package now, which looks like it's going to take an extra few weeks because they're trying to go the bipartisan route. But once the infrastructure is done, things like student loan forgiveness, fourth stimulus check, increase in Social Security, homebuyers credit, those stimulus proposals will get a lot more attention. Do I think it'll happen? I think it will happen, but it may not be in the short-term future. It might happen a little later on. Anyways, that is all the stimulus news I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip for the day.
Hi guys. Hi guys, this is Belle. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you something. If you can't find a way to do something, then do something that you really want to do that you haven't done. Hi guys. At least if you can't make the first one happen. So that's all I wanted to say. Say bye. Bye.
Thanks so much for watching up until this point. I hope you have a great rest of your day or rest of your night, and I hope you do something that makes you happy. Every day, I think it's best to do one thing that makes you really happy, and then think about that happy moment and try to carry that over throughout your next day and your next day. Just try to create happy moments and then keep thinking about those happy moments. At least that's what I tell my kids to do. Anyways, if you want to check out some more videos, click this video up here or this video down over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.